paddle faster, motherfucker. Hey, what's up, motherfuckers? IB Tat here, bringing you the first edition of Why the Fuck Am I Gonna Hike the AT? This is whiskey, by the way. Just kidding, it's coffee. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I haven't had a drink in 3 years. I'm getting over strep throat, so I sound like I smoke 40 packs of cigarettes a day. Little introduction, I am 35 years old. I live in Asheville, North Carolina, by way of Montana, by way of Texas, by way of Michigan. I am not going through a midlife crisis. I am not freshly out of college. I just want to fucking hike the thing. I am planning for a 2018 through hike. I'm going to be realistic about it because I am pretty much starting from scratch. One of the reasons I'm making this video now, maybe you guys can help me out and give me some tips on what gear to buy and all that shit. Reading about gear and looking at reviews, and every motherfucker and their brother's got a different opinion on what you should buy. So let me know what you think I should get, and I will take it with a grain of salt and make my own fucking decision. Does this pack make my ass look big? This is the Osprey Atmos AG 65 liter pack. REI guy saw me coming a million miles away and probably sold me a pack way too fucking big than I need, but whatever, he got my money. It's a kick-ass pack. This is the first real backpack I've ever owned. I was always the fucking asshole carrying a JanSport on the trail, so I got a bandana and that makes me look like a hiker, right? I did buy a platypus bladder. It's the Big Zip 3 liter. My manners, where have they gone? Cool little mesh backing here, you can see. So I sweat like a fucking hog, so hopefully that'll help. Yeah, that's my expert review of this pack. It's a shit. Next up, Shelter. Big Agnes. Copper Spur UL2. This thing's legit. I set it up a couple times in my backyard, so now I'm an expert on it. This thing costs more than my monthly rent. I told you I'm a cheap ass. I got it on sale, $100 off. Discounts. Bargain shopping. I'm only one person. Why did I get a 2-person tent? My balls need to breathe when I sleep. I need to sprawl out. Got a basset hound. He's a pain in the ass sometimes and he runs around and sleeps, so I don't want him fucking jumping on my ass when I'm sleeping. 2-person tent, 1 person, 1 dog. Roscoe, do you think Daddy's batshit crazy for hiking the Appalachian Trail? I think that's a yes. My basset hound will not be going on the AT because he's a fat ass. He can only hike about 2 miles. I'm not carrying his ass 2,000 miles. Haven't slept in it yet. Just set up in my backyard like an asshole and laid in it and figured, wow, this is comfortable. So there you go. The other main piece of gear I needed to buy was a sleeping bag. Booyah, got that shit covered too. Down sleeping bag, my first one I ever bought. Now I told you I'm a cheap ass. I ain't gonna spend $400 for a goddamn sleeping bag. Got this fucker on sale. I think I paid $180 for it. I think it costs like $250 or something. Full price. I hate paying full price. First of all, it's a Sierra Designs Zizu Zazu. I don't know how you pronounce it, but something like that. 15-degree down bag. It's apparently the treated down, which means you can get it somewhat damp. And it'll still keep you somewhat warm. I don't really care for the mummy bag design. First one I ever had, and I laid in it for, I don't know, 10 minutes, sweat my ass off. I did feel a little cramped, and I'm a side sleeper, so hopefully this thing works out for me. Got a little hood and shit on there. I do like to wear hats when I sleep, even in my fucking house, so I don't know if I'll use that. I might just flip this back and shit and just wear a hat and keep my head out. Coming with a stuffed sack, which I'll probably double as a pillow. Once I get a down jacket and shit, I'll throw that in my stuffed sack and use that as a pillow. So I'm pretty happy about it. I heard some people buy 2 different sleeping bags, one for the summer, one for the winter. I ain't doing all that shit. I don't have the money for that, so I'm just gonna carry this bag the whole time. Hopefully it works out for me. If I have to sleep on top of it in the summer, I will, so whatever. I lived in Montana for 4 years, so I could deal with the cold temperatures in Maine, I'm sure. So, alright. Sleeping bag check. Ready ho ho. Got my pack. Got my shelter. Gotta drink some water so I don't die. Got this fancy thing, because this is what people told me to get. Sawyer Squeeze, regular size. Got a fancy cap on it. I'm gonna take it off and put a smart water cap on it because that's what everybody tells me to do. Came with these fancy bags that look like cheap plastic. I don't think they work very well. I think I'm gonna throw them in the trash. Maybe I can give these to my alcoholic friends. They can fill them up with whiskey and carry them in their pockets. Came with this plunger thing. If you're a heroin addict, I think this would be awesome. But if you're an Appalachian Trail thru hiker, I think this is extra weight that you don't need. Maybe I'll use it this Thanksgiving to baste my turkey with. I got some brain cells up top. Comes with this big ass mesh bag, which I don't really need to carry this. Instant bug net. What do I need next? I need a way to cook food on the trail because I'm a cook and I know what the hell I'm doing in that department. I'm also a cheap ass and I lived off of ramen noodles for 6 months and I wasn't even hiking. So I need a boil of water. How do I do that? I spend $135 on a water boiling device. Very smart. You know why I bought this thing? Because it looks cool as shit and it makes me look legit on the trail. The Jetboil Minimo. Ooh. But yeah, it's got these flip out handles. Got some rubber on them so when it's hot as shit I can hold it and not burn my delicate man fingers. It's got some holes in it so I can strain water from noodles and whatnot. It's got a sippy cup on it. It's like when I was a baby. Mommy had to give me a sippy cup because I was a messy baby. Take this rubber lid off. And it's got this stand built right in. Take this fucker off. Now, I don't like plastic shit. Made in China. It doesn't hold, it doesn't last, so I'm worried about breaking this, so I'm just gonna have to be careful with it, I suppose. I got a big can of gas, not to be used for huffing. Don't do drugs, kids. This thing goes on here like this. Snaps right on, very fancy. Put it on surfaces, doesn't move around. Inside the pot, I got a bandana, because that's what people do on these reviews. I got a lighter in here. You know it has its own self-lighting system. I brought a lighter because I was once a Boy Scout and I always know that you need a backup lighter. I don't need this thing for cooking. At least I can light my farts with it in the shelters. Lay free bird, damn it. Okay, inside the pot, inside the bandana. Comes with this fancy felt carrying case from my stove. Ain't she pretty? I've hooked this thing up and just stared at it probably 5 or 6 times. I have used it once just to boil water for coffee just to test it out. On the bottom of the pot it's got this fancy little cup. Probably won't use it for shit, but it's there to protect my pot. I see these little grooves here. They line up against that little, see that little dot there? That lines up like so. And then you rotate it, sturdy as can be. And then you can cook your fancy ramen meals. Also enjoy mashed potatoes and gravy. I'll probably have to substitute the gravy for nothing, but at least I'll have mashed potatoes. Put that in there with my ramen, maybe some beef jerky and some pepperoni and whatnot. I'll be living like a king. Morning time, I'm an oatmeal kind of guy, but after hiking probably 3 or 4 weeks, I'm gonna be sick of making breakfast in the morning, so I'll probably switch to Pop-Tarts because we all know Pop-Tarts are fucking delicious. Pop-Tarts, send me some Pop-Tarts for the trail. Free endorsement. Expert tip. Before hiking AT, go get a shit a ton of tattoos. Get some hiking tattoos on your knuckles because they look badass and they make you look like a legit hiker. Number 2, grow a big fucking gnarly beard because it makes you look like a badass. Conveniently enough, I live in Asheville, North Carolina, so people mistake me for a hipster too. Win-win. When your beard game is strong, people think that you know what the fuck you're talking about, even if you don't. Oh yeah. Alright guys, so that's my expert review on the pieces of gear I've bought so far. I'm open to any tips and opinions. Leave them down in the comments below and I'd appreciate it. hope to see y'all out on the trail in 2018. I'm gonna sit here on my day off, stare at my backyard. Very peaceful. Alright, this is the IB Tad out. Hope to hear from y'all soon.